What's up, good people, my believers in business family? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Brian Adamson. And I got my man Praise with me today, per usual. Shout out to P for just staying locked in and helping, I think, pull even more like intentional content for you guys out of the conversation, which is dope. Because that's the whole reason why we do the pod. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about how to create your business in a way that you operate in excellence within it and the results are excellent as a result of it. And so P, I think that's just a great place to start, bro. You know, again, welcome back. Appreciate your time, your commitment to not only getting better yourself, but really being that intentional with the questions and the dialogue to make sure that the audience is getting better as a result of listening.
Yeah, 100%, man. I appreciate you for having me. You know, like I said, you didn't have to, bring me on as the co-pilot, and I don't ever want to diminish a serving role. Just because it may not be where I want to be does not mean it's not important in my training. So yeah, I want to take this 100% serious as if we saving a life every time we do this. So I don't want the blood to be on your hands. So that's why I love just, coming here prepared and you helping me as much as we helping the people. So I'm learning from you. They learning from you. We all just learning. So and I love to sit at your feet and learn. So yeah, we're going to talk about excellence because excellence is worshiping God. So you ready to do it?
For sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So first
before you
things
say
first,
that, I think it's important to say this. I just want everybody listening to know, right? Or watching to know. We pray before every last one of these pods. Why is that important? Because some of you may hear a pod, may watch it, may listen to it, and be like, man, I feel like God was talking to me. He probably was. Because that's what we ask him to do. Every single time we shoot one of these, we pray that we decrease so that he can increase. So the more specific reason as to why I'm mentioning that is because if that's you and that's what you're experiencing, don't miss your moment. Don't passively dismiss that as if maybe it was. No, it probably is. And you should probably do something about that as a result of what you heard. I don't know. Even in the moment, I just felt convicted to say that so that people know if you feel an unction, move on that. This is your opportunity.
bro. It's so funny how, and I just want to touch on this because you just did it as well. What I've learned throughout this week, you just were speaking about. Like every time I learn something, I ask God, like, I don't know how you're going to use this. I don't know when they're going to use this. I don't know when they're going to bring it up. And every person that gets in front of me brings up what I was just learning. Every time. Because you just brought up to not stifle the Holy Spirit. And that's what I learned. You can't stifle those unctions, those promptings that you just randomly get to be like, this is for me, or I think I should go do this. Like, that's that sixth sense. That's that Holy Spirit. But I'm not even going to press into that. Let's get into this excellence, man. And yeah, so first things first, can you first say what in your eyes, the definition of excellence and what habits or disciplines separate an excellent business owner or not virtual? So state what excellence is and they get
so
into
we
that.
build our business and we teach business predicated on this one excellence principle. Colossians 3:23 says, do all your work as if you're doing it for the Lord, not for man's approval, because you know that your inheritance and your reward comes from the Lord. That's an excellence principle. Stopping short. I don't do just enough to get by. I don't do what's acceptable. I don't get away with murder because I'm the owner. I don't get away with murder because I'm the leader. I don't get away with collecting a paycheck at work and giving them because I'm not working for them. Although they're giving me the check, that's really the provision that's being passed to me from the provider. So I got to always make sure that I'm working for approval from the provider, not necessarily from the provision. And if we take that posture, then we show up a certain kind of way as a result of that.
That's really good. I don't think people understand the importance of showing up with excellence. So I'm glad you brought up that verse because that's a verse that it gets overlooked a lot. We always say the Lord is my shepherd.
Where is that at?
It's always either the Lord is my shepherd or all
Yeah,
things
it's
are working
Psalm
together for
23
my
all day
good.
long. It's like,
Or
hey,
it's
where's
right.
that in the
So it's
Bible? Is that
always
in the Bible, or is that the other Bible?
it's right. So it's like we always focus on these like Lord is my shepherd and my cup runneth over and all these other verses, but it's like, are you excellent enough for your cup to run over? Like we need to have that conversation. You want God to bless everything you touch. Are you excellent in everything you touch? So I'm grateful that you brought up that verse because now, like, what disciplines separate an excellent business owner from an average one?
So one discipline that separates an excellent business owner from an average business owner is vision. That's a discipline.
Can you elaborate on that?
100%. So scripture says
Yeah.
that without vision, the people will perish. So any area, right, the context of perish mean die. So any area of your life that you don't have vision, there's death occurring as a result. If you don't have vision for your health, then you mismanaging your temple. You're not going to do the inputs to have a certain outcome based on your lack of vision. So by default, the law of atrophy says anything left to itself gets worse, not better. So no, you don't work out, you don't watch your diet, you eat those things that you crave and you call that happiness. But as a result, you're feeding your body disease. If you don't have vision for what you want your marriage to look like and y'all just kind of just doing it, then you're missing the biggest factor that make marriage successful, because marriage is about alignment, not agreement. We're different people. We shouldn't agree on everything. God gave us two different brains for a reason, but we should be aligned on everything. Well, how do you get alignment? By having vision conversation. How can you hold your child accountable to some standard when y'all never talked about the vision for their life? You just giving them stuff that they got to do every day and not do every day. So your business be no different. If you don't have a vision for your business, then you're just getting up every day hustling. And that'll get you some fruit. But I guarantee you, you working harder in the field than the person with the vision. Because the person with the vision, the excellent owner, as you called it, versus the average one, they're thinking about, should I be doing this and who better to do it? They're thinking about, what do I need to forecast for my revenue so that I can hire some people to do some of this stuff that then will free me up to do things that get a higher return on investment than me spending 7 hours to edit a video, because I'm not an editor. I shouldn't be the one doing this. But somebody can do it in a lot less time and it'll save me and make me a lot more money. So the difference between, the first difference between an excellent owner and an average owner is the excellent owner has vision for their business. Mm-hmm. Secondly, the excellent owner does things daily that they don't want to do. The average owner makes excuses and don't. I don't feel like shooting these pods today. And if I got to keep it all the way a buck, I don't even feel like going out of the country next week for me and my wife's anniversary. Shout out to my baby, 18 years in. But I just don't feel, I'm just, we just got back from South Beach. We were on it's cool. I like enjoying myself. Don't get me wrong. Once I'm there, I'm going to enjoy myself. But the idea of going, I just don't feel like all of that, right? Like, I don't want to think about what I want to wear. I just don't feel like it. I'm going though, right? Because I got to do things I don't feel like, both in business and personally. But if I got to keep it a buck, I don't feel like I got to record 3 more pieces of content after I get done with this, right? I don't feel like doing it. And as those of you that's listening and watching this right now can already pick up on, even though I'm doing it, I'm not checking the box. Even though I'm doing it, I'm not sitting here texting on my phone and hella distracted and why? Because Colossians 3:23 says, if I'm gonna do it, then I got to do my work as if I'm doing it for the Lord, not for man's approval. So although I don't feel like doing it, the fact that I am doing it means I got to do it for him, not even for y'all necessarily. So that's what the excellent owner does over the average one. I could very easily just tell my marketing assistant, hey, just go back through the Rolodex. We post 6 days a week. You know what I mean? It's something else in there to recycle. I don't feel like it. And be well within my rights as a leader, as the owner of the company, to say, yeah, I'm straight. I'm taking the rest of the week off. I ain't doing it. But I've made a commitment to myself, to you, to the people, as to when I'm going to drop, the frequency by which I do so, the quality that I want to put out. I want to get better every week, not worse. So I got to do it. So vision and commitment and awareness, because you have to be aware in order to really have self-coaching. I need to know I don't feel like it so that I can coach myself into doing it.
Oh, this one don't get overlooked. Run it back, please.
I gotta be aware of what's really going on with me at all times. Whether I like the answers that I get or not, I gotta at least be aware and understand it.
It's so good.
Because I'm my first coach. Before I coach anybody else throughout the course of the day, I gotta coach me first. I got 5 hours of sleep last night. Don't know why. But then I had to coach myself to go to the gym, regardless of being tired. Then the lady came, as sweet as she is, interrupted my set. We talked for 30, 40 minutes about traveling the world. Well, I had to coach myself to start my workout all over. It's 40 minutes. It's like starting all over. I done got cold. I could have just left like, oh, see what time it is. I'm constantly I'm constantly aware, and I'm constantly self-coaching based on the vision I have for my health, based on the vision I have for the business, based on the vision I have for the revenue. Yesterday, my wife and my daughter went to the Breezy Bowl, and she was like, can you take us? I could have, but I'm not the most qualified to take y'all down to that stadium with 60,000 people and roads blocked off and get my 6.5 month pregnant daughter and you to the closest possible place to walk into wherever y'all need to walk. I'm not the most qualified for that. And her and my daughter was laughing. I paid $650 to give him a chauffeur to take him to the concert. I still think that was a little rich, but that's what it cost. So that what? That somebody would be there, drop them off at the appropriate place, sit there the entire time. That if my daughter, who's 6.5 months pregnant, decided she wanted to leave early, that they could, which they did. They left with 3 songs left. Chauffeur took him, got him something to eat, dropped him off at home. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I had a 3-hour meeting with my business partner last night while they were gone. And then I coached a pastor at our church after that for another 1.5 hours. So I made a lot better use of my time than just sitting in the parking lot while they was in the concert enjoying themselves. Everybody get an ROI on that. But because I got vision for my life, I know what to say no to and what to say yes to. Otherwise, if I didn't have vision, it'd be like, yeah, I'll take y'all. Because and with all due respect, but that's what a normal person would do. Like, of course, I'll just drive y'all. There's 30 minutes from the crib. I paid $650 to have somebody take them 30 minutes from the house. But my time in that exchange was worth far more. And not just me, I wanted to put them in the best situation to succeed that night and alleviate us getting into it. Because everything's sweet until it ain't. As soon as I got down there and they ready to go, and I'm like, I'm stuck on this street. Man, this street cut off. I don't know. The GPS sending me the wrong way. Bro, 47 minutes later in the argument, I know better. Got to have vision, though. Because otherwise, you just default into doing stuff that normal people would do. I know better. Based on my lot in life and my vision for every area of my life, my marriage, my family, that's not what I should be doing tonight. But that is what somebody should be doing.
Yeah, this is good, B. Yo, I tell you this all the time. Your bag get deep every time we talk. I don't know if you're gonna pull out a story. I don't know if you're gonna pull out a gem. You just continue to show off on the court. Some nights you go for 30 points, sometimes you go for 50. I don't know, man. You got a deep bag, bro. So I just appreciate how many points you score when we play.
Bro,
man.
I just be living life every day, man. And it'd be a lot of life being lived on a day in and day out basis, bro.
Bro, and it's so good, bro. I hope they didn't overhear what you just said. That awareness of what you're feeling, like how many people just would do better at business if they just were honest, like, y'all don't really feel like
yeah, and I've already made commitments to myself and others. So you know what? I got to do it anyway. That's the difference.
That part.
Even if those will get to a point of awareness and acknowledgement, then they lean into that and think it's okay. But I always ask this question. Everybody want to fire their boss. What happens when you are your boss, though? You thought that boss was bad at work. I'm way worse of a boss to me than my boss ever was at work. You trying to get from up under them. They should be a cakewalk compared to how you regulate yourself. I wouldn't let them talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? The conversations I have with me about what I got to do.
Right. That's so good, bro. This is so good. And then one of my next question is, how do you distinguish excellence from perfectionism in business? Because I know me before. I think since I have 50 different ways that I'm being excellent, hand don't get put to the plow for not one of them. So, but I want to hear, Mr. 50 points a game. You tell me, how do we distinguish excellence from perfectionism in business?
Yeah. So for me, it's simple, right? So excellence is Colossians 3:23. Do all my work as if I'm doing it for the Lord, not for man's approval. If I get up and do that every day, regardless of what that look like, that's excellence. Because I'm doing it to his standard. He's excellence. He is excellence.
Right.
Perfectionism is a sexy version of procrastination. So I can't be excellent if I'm stalling doing the work. I would even go as far to say perfectionism is an idol. It's the antithesis of Christ. Because if the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, then how could I ever be perfect if he's ordering my steps? The implied thing in the text of him ordering my steps mean that there's disorder to my steps.
Can you say that again? Say that again for the believers in the back.
Implied meaning of the text. If he's ordering my steps, then that means there's disorder to my steps. He anticipates there's going to be disorder to my steps. So if I'm serving perfectionism, I'm serving an idol. It's not real.
My goodness. I ain't never heard the text put like that before.
I ain't either. I ain't never said that before.
You see what I'm saying? You just keep pulling stuff out the bag, bro. I don't know how you do it, bro. I'm telling you, man, listen, man, I don't know how you keep going for 50. You just keep dropping a new gem. It's just every single time.
Everybody need a praise in their life to encourage them. I'm just going to tell y'all that.
I'm telling you, man, but that's so good, bro, because it's so easy to try and order your own steps. And you don't even know what best step to take. Like oh my goodness, that is a
God
word,
said,
bro.
that's my job. You trying to do my job. You never going to beat me at doing my job. You suck at it.
That's good. My goodness. That is so good. So what's the danger of doing business good enough instead of doing it with excellence? What's that danger? Because I know especially you having the history and the longevity that you've had and just being business alone. Like you got longevity, right? Because you've started the real estate and you transitioned and now you're just doing coaching. It's a lot of longevity, and that is a lot of times you could have just did good enough, but you chose to be excellent. So what is the danger of doing good enough instead of approaching everything with excellence?
Well, I'm going to say this flippantly first, and then I'll expand. Good enough ain't good enough.
That's it.
I mean, good enough ain't good enough. And I don't mean that good enough isn't good. I'm saying good enough ain't good enough because there's always going to be slippage where now that good enough ain't good at all. So I'm a real estate guy. Okay. The fundamental in real estate that makes you wealthy is called equity. Everybody listen to this. Y'all know this, right? Equity. So in every transaction, I'm trying to build equity. I'm trying to build brand equity, relational equity, trust equity, because I know good enough ain't good enough. So I got to shoot for great and build enough equity so that as things get shaky on whoever part and out of whoever control, I built enough equity that we don't end up upside down in the transaction. And the problem for most people is they approach business and life just good enough. And as soon as one thing happened and now the transaction is upside down, it's a smear campaign.
Mm.
So I go out of my way. They got this saying in real estate that you make your money when you buy. Most people think you make your money when you sell, because logically, when I sell the transaction, yesterday I sold an apartment building, they wired me the money, right? But the reason why we say you make your money when you buy is because if you don't buy it right, there won't be any money at the end of it to send to you. So same is true in business. In every transaction, you have to buy right. You have to buy right in the beginning, or there won't be anything in the end. Part of buying right in real estate is that you buy with equity in the deal already. Does that make sense? If I'm buying a house that's worth 300,000, I don't want to have no more than 250,000 into the deal between my purchase price and my rehab, because I want at least 50,000 in equity. I want some equity when I come into the transaction. They give me room for error. So in business, in every transaction, you need to be buying with equity in the deal, because there's always going to be something. So good enough ain't good enough. Good enough is buying that $300,000 house at 298,000, and all you need is the interest rates to go up a little bit, and then all of a sudden the properties in your area are selling for 260, and now you got more in your house at 290 than you do the house be worth at 260. That's what happens in business for people every day, because they do just enough, and they play too close to the edge with expectations, with fulfillment, and your fulfillment is your best marketing. If you overserve your people, they will overtell about your business. If you underserve your people, they gonna overtell about your business. Key thing is they gonna tell anyway. So you better make sure they got something good to tell about it.
Right. Right.
And I don't just do that with clients. I do that with people that work for me. I can tell you that of all the people I've had to fire over the years, some may be listening. We text. I could call them today. Like, there's respect because there was equity built in that relationship, that even though it went not so well for the business need, that we had enough equity built in all these other categories to where the respect is still there, the trust is still there, the love is still there, the respect is still there. It wasn't just go do this, go do that every day. Treating them like, I got a associate in the Philippines, never met her. She's worked for us off and on for 5 years. I could call her today and she dropped what she doing, and within 48 hours she'd be plugged back into the system doing. And bro, I'm telling you, like, that's from building equity with people. That somebody across the world that's 13 hours different than you is willing to drop whatever they're doing on the whole other side of the world to take care of whatever you need them to take care of for you. So good enough ain't good enough.
Right. That is amazing. And that story actually kind of ties into the next question I was going to ask you. I was going to say, can you share an example from your own journey where excellence opened doors that average effort couldn't? And that was just a small one, where you have somebody in a whole nother reach being like, you know what, B got it. What you want? So can you just share another moment where your excellence opened the door that average effort couldn't open?
The reason why I struggle to come up with one is because I believe that's why any door has been open for me.
Yeah, you just.
I'm just.
You being honest?
Y'all want me to lie to y'all? I mean, I can. I mean, but I really believe. I believe it's for the reason that any door is open for me.
In other words, people, he's saying he, him.
Nah, and I'm not even saying that. What I am saying is I do it every day. So it's hard to be like, on this day, I really killed it. It's like I do it I make daily deposits, bro. I Ecclesiastes 11:6. I sow my seed in the morning, get busy by afternoon, for you do not know from which endeavor you will profit, if not both. I sow my seed in the morning, get busy by afternoon, because you do not know from which endeavor you will profit, if not both. I just do that every day. Yes. I Ecclesiastes 11:6 every day. That's my productivity hack. And so it's hard to attribute like one thing where I'm like, oh man, we talk about your gift will make room for you. I can't remember the text right now, but it talks about how people will go ahead of you and speak on your behalf in rooms that you aren't in, right? And it ties into this idea of your gift making room for you. Bro, my prayer, my hope, I'm being talked about right now somewhere. And based on the equity of those relationships, hopefully in a good light. You know how many clients that I've gotten that's like, hey, when I say, hey, how did you even find out about me? Oh, so-and-so told me about you. I don't even know who so-and-so is. It's like, you got to go follow this guy. But how would that happen if I didn't create content like right now, even when I don't feel like it, but still make it meaningful?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to say one thing. I try to do this. I try to do excellent things every day. And then
excellence is in your DNA. It's in your DNA. That's what you just said. If you want to be an excellent business owner, you got to have excellence in your DNA.
It's an identity shift for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's an identity shift for sure. And, you know, although my parents weren't entrepreneurs, they was hard working. They didn't miss work. Like dad went to the fire department for 30 years, missed maybe like less than 10 days in 30 years type situation. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't see like missing work and all that. Now, when I worked, I used to miss work when I was in corporate. You know what I'm saying? I used to be calling off all kind of stuff. He would be so upset with me to know. But I don't call off work for my business though, bro. I may have called off work for them. I don't call off work for me.
And too many people are calling off work for themselves, man.
They got it confused. This ain't vacation.
And one thing that I realized, and I'm so grateful you just said that you can't think of one moment because you're just being excellent every day. So then all these doors that are opening is just because you're being excellent.
When you say it sounds worse than what I said. See, I don't want the people to think that I'm saying that. Like,
they know your
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
They know your heart posture. They know your heart posture.
Okay, I want y'all to know.
This is
he ain't out here tripping like I'm just excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I am saying is I operate in the principle of excellence, Colossians 3:23 every day.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. See, even when I'm saying excellence, it looks different for you, right? It looks different for everybody. So even me saying you being excellent every day, that's Brian's version of excellence, right? Because somebody may be like, oh, he's saying Brian's excellent. That you can't personalize somebody else's lifestyle.
That's right.
I can't personalize your version of excellence. You know, as I'm saying it, it's tailored to you. When I say you're being excellent every day, it's tailored to you. So whoever's listening, when he's saying be excellent, what does excellence looks like? What does excellence look like for you on a day-to-day basis? So when I'm saying Brian's being excellent, he's doing his day-to-day tasks the best he can.
Which is crazy to me, bro. Do you know how unsettled I am with myself when I don't do the things throughout the day that I said I was going to do?
Tell me about it.
Seriously, and people get up and do it every day, though. They be like, I'm going to do it, and then they don't do it. And then they, like, sit on the couch and watch Netflix, and I don't I can't, I'm not okay with myself if I know I do that.
I think that goes back, though, to what you were saying about vision, because if you don't know where you're going, there ain't gonna be no urgency to get there.
That's true. No, that's true. Without vision, people perish. Your excitement, your energy, your enthusiasm, all of that dies when you're not clear about where you're going. If it's just chasing invoices, you're going to get tired. It's going to wear you out for sure.
Right. So I just think a lot of people, they wake up and they could take the day off because they don't know where they're going. If where you going doesn't push you enough to not take no days off, then that's not where you need to be going.
That's true.
Simple. Like you got a destination mentally, physically, emotionally, in every area of life. You just said you had a vision. So if you have a vision, every single place you want to go, will make you not going to take a day
every year when I take a sabbatical, I create a new vision folder. And like literally, I write out every area of my life and the vision for that area. So I don't just, there was a time where I thought casting vision was just like, oh, what I want to do in the business. We want to go to 3 million this year. Like, no, I literally write out every year on my sabbatical. So when I go on my sabbatical in December, it'll be 2026, vision for this, vision for that, vision for that. I categorize all of it. And then I write out, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain. I write it out. And I may share with my wife what my vision for our marriage is. I share, with the family, like I got my first grandbaby coming into the mix in 2026. So yeah. But I'm intentional about that. And I got that from Mike Todd. That's one of the few things I got from him before he went off the rocker. Man, he used to do some good preaching, man. I mean, if you like Mike Todd, shout out to y'all, but
he did, bro. He was the first preacher I ended up listening to.
He used to do some good preaching back in the day, man.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, man. I think this is, and I wanted to ask you, because we always want to give our believers a practical
Yeah.
step. What's the one practical step a believer can take to be excellent?
Ooh. So I'm gonna give you two because the one is by default. The one is reframe everything around Colossians 3 and 23 and 24. If you reframe your action, your ideology, and your behavior around that, you're going to operate in whatever level of excellence that is for you, to Praise's point. So that's the
Right.
first thing. The second thing is, and this also going to be oversimplified. Keep your word to yourself, not nobody else. Just keep your word to you. If you make a habit of keeping your word to you in Colossians 3 and 23 and 24, you're going to look up and not even recognize who you are before long. Forget everybody else. You're not going to recognize you if you do that long enough. Here's the other part why I have to do this. Because I'm human just like y'all, man. I see people that's winning that I'm like, Lord, what we doing? Right? I discipline myself to show up this way so that I can eliminate the doubt of did I show up? Did I not show up is why I'm not getting what I'm supposed to get. So I do this for my own sanity. That I know as long as I showed up and did my part, then it ain't that. So then I'm just waiting on God's timing. But if I halfway show up and I'm inconsistent and I don't keep my word and I'm not doing the right things, that'll drive me nuts because I'm a solve for X kind of guy, right? Like I want one variable to solve for in the equation. If I got a problem with X, Y, and Z, that's no bueno for the kids. So I do that for my own sanity.
You just taught them how to eliminate doubt, show up with confidence, be excellent, and kill it in business.
That was
I appreciate you, B. That's amazing.
Appreciate
I
you,
thank
bro.
you for this
God bless
conversation.
y'all.